It is time once again for the weekly tarot for the soul, which is the weekly tarot reading for the collective. Today I'm going to be working with the Universal Rider Waite deck, and then also I'm going to work a little bit with this new vintage Egyptian tarot deck that I got a few weeks ago. So today we are looking into the energies for the first week of September, and I'm going to begin by selecting one card from this Egyptian tarot as the primary archetype that's supporting our collective journeys forward this week in the realm of awakening. So let me just take a moment to tune in. Archetype of the week. It feels like it is this one. Dun, dun, dun. Thought. The archetype of thought. Now, when I'm looking at the images on this card here, there's two artisans crafting, sculpting images in stone. And so the archetype of thought really is about forethought. This feels like it's really aligned with the messages that came through that I just shared in the other video that I just uploaded for the energy update for the month of September in general. So the archetype of thought for this week, the first week of September, is about forethought. It's about really dialing into a sense of clarity around what your intentions are in moving forward. There's definitely a strong positive energy shift that's happening this week, even with the challenging astrological aspects that have been going on, in addition to the challenges that we've been having around the whole COVID thing. Despite that, there's still this resurgent energy of renewal that's happening, that's inspiring us all to get back on track with the course we had intended for ourselves before everything went down the way it did with the pandemic throughout this year. And the energy is around being really mindful around what you're creating. How are you utilizing and leveraging your energies this week that's supporting whatever your intended outcomes are? And the more that we are all individually doing that, the more we're supporting the energy of that rising up within the collective. So this is like basically a really empowering time of manifestation that we're entering into right now for the whole month of September, but we're looking at the energies specifically for this week. So it starts with forethought, clarity of awareness around the intentions behind your goals and your actions. And then utilizing those energies in the best ways that you can to achieve whatever your intended results or outcomes are. So here I'm just giving this Rider Waite deck, the Universal Rider Waite, a few shuffles here. And I'm going to do a 5-card spread again this week. And we're going to look at the energies that are happening for us this week in a variety of different ways. Okay, just tuning in. And I'm selecting some cards here. The first card we're going to look at is external influences. So this is what's going on globally, energetically, astrologically, all the way around. Externally, what is inspiring or influencing us. And it's this card. The 9 of Swords reversed. So here's the Nine of Swords. It's showing up reversed in the reading. And so as I'm looking at this in regard to external influences, it's very connected to the message that I got in the previous video I just did around the collective energies for September. And it's about like, how much can I take, right? On one level, it feels like things are reaching a critical mass in regard to anything that has caused distress, worry, fear, uncertainty, mentally disturbing energies. It may be that for sure things that are going on astrologically are contributing to that. We do still also have extenuating circumstances happening in world events, global events, that are still bombarding us, our psyches, in ways that can lead to even more distress. And so this is something for us to navigate. So how does this serve our collective journeys in spiritual awakening, healing, and empowerment? It gives us the opportunity to learn to master our energies so that regardless of what's going on astrologically or what's going on in the world, we always have a choice around the perspective we choose. We have a choice around the energies that we personally choose to align with in moving forward. We can unconsciously choose to just allow ourselves to become overwhelmed and buried, so to speak, by the intense, heavier energies that are happening. Or we can choose to witness them as something that's informing us as to how we can work around them. And it feels like that's the best use of the energies that are influencing us from the external 3D world of form right now, is to find ways to work through or around the challenging energies and not allowing the challenging energies that are happening right now in situations and astrological aspects to thwart our efforts. Use them to inform us in ways that enables us to move forward despite the energies. All right. The next card we're going to look at is what's happening on the inner planes for us collectively. We do have that full moon in Pisces happening in the next day or so, depending on where you live. It's going to be late night September 1st or early morning September 2nd, depending on where you live in the world. And so that's definitely impacting our inner emotional being. And we have another sword. We have the Eight of Swords showing up reversed also. And so let me speak to that. It's very similar to the energy of the Nine of Swords. So internally, it's like we are reaching collectively that point of critical mass where enough is enough, despite what's going on in the world, despite the harsh astrological aspects. I am finding a way to move forward. I'm finding a way to move beyond what feels like months of stagnation, months of restriction, months of setbacks. I'm finding a way to feel my way forward. So we're having that sense, that guidance, that impulse collectively and individually. We are being divinely guided in the direction of finding ways to move forward in crafting vibrancy in our life despite external circumstances and energies that pose a sense of restriction. Hidden energies unseen. This can be opportunities, it can be challenges. Let's take a look at what wants to come up here. What are the hidden influences for this week? First week of September. The 10 of Wands reversed. 10 of Wands, when it shows up, is about carrying a burden. Reverse, it's a message about letting go of anything that has contributed to a personal sense of heaviness in your life. Now, oftentimes when this card comes up, it's not so much a burden from your own issues as much as it is taking on the energy of other people. So as it's relating to hidden influences, ask yourself, how much of the discord, disruption, anxiety, tension, and stress that I feel that's indicated in these cards here, how much of that is because of me empathically taking on the energy that's showing up on the lower octaves, the lower vibrational levels of the collective right now? There's obviously a lot of people that are in despair, that are worrying, that are in fear. There's a lot of people who have had losses. People have died. A lot of people have died. Now there's hurricanes, and there's all kinds of different levels of devastating situations happening in the world. And a lot of us are unconsciously feeling and being affected by those energies. Now would be a really good time to do some energy clearing for yourself. Sage yourself, sage your home, work with intentions and ceremonies and prayers around healing the collective, around clearing away anything that's not serving the highest good of ourselves individually and collectively. This would be a really good time to work with the ancient practice of Ho'oponopono. This seems to really be a week of clearing and releasing anything that is obstructing you or hindering you from leaping into your joy, your enthusiasm, your exuberance. Cautionary energy. Here we go. The Four of Swords also showing up reversed. Here's the card. It's showing up reversed, which I'll talk about that. Now, as the cautionary energy, it feels like this is a message around being aware of the energy in which you are motivating yourself in life. Be aware of the energy you're putting out. Be aware of the energy that you're guiding yourself with, and be aware of the energy that you're expressing outwardly to others. There is a little bit of a tendency to be edgy, feeling edgy this week with all of the swords coming up. And the Four of Swords speaks of a tendency on one aspect to have thoughts that are critical. And we want to be aware of that aspect of ourselves, but not let it be what's guiding us. If you find that you're having thoughts that feel self-critical, if you feel that you're being judgy or criticizing things that are happening in the world, or even if you're just not feeling the level of confidence that you would like to feel, use those awarenesses as pointing you in the direction of where you have shadow work to do, where you can heal some core wounds or some unhealthy thought patterns that maybe have previously sabotaged your efforts. This is a time of clearing all of those things. We really are moving into a period of renewed vitality, renewed enthusiasm. So it looks like this week things are coming up to be cleared, so that when we are feeling guided to move forward, we can do so in a way that's completely aligned with the vibrance of our spirit, our empowerment. Now, my favorite position, last card, the Power card. What's empowering our journeys this week collectively? It's this one. Okay, it is the Four of Wands, also showed up reversed. So every single card showed up reversed this week. The reversals that showed are compelling us on an inward journey of clearing and releasing anything that's obstructing or hindering us from stepping into our vibrance. Now, the Four of Wands coming up reversed is the beginning levels of inviting a return to celebrational energies that we can experience not only around our home environment, but the extended sense of home in regard to community. This can be literally your own community that you live in, but it can also be the global community of people that you're connected with, the global community of the collective. This is like doing your part to shift into a return of celebration, harmony, new beginnings, expansive, enthusiastic energies, and being in the energy of sharingness with that in the collective. So this is our power card. It's almost like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, we're not completely through this process of deep transformation that we've been in all year. We're not completely through it, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is a shift of energy. The energy in this card is very bright and sunshiny, warm and welcoming. In fact, if I'm holding all of the cards up together, you can see a progression where we're coming into more light. We've got some golds coming in. Now, I want to look at the numbers. We have the 8, the 9, the 10, and 2 4s. So the fact that there's an 8, a 9, and a 10 in and of itself speaks of a progression that's happening. Now in the tarot, 9s and 10s specifically deal with cycle changes. One cycle of experience in our lives coming into completion and a new cycle beginning. Right now, we're sort of like this week, we're in the in-between phase where we have 1 foot in each realm. We've got 1 foot still sort of connected to the energies that we're cycling out of now, which is why the messages are around clearing away any thought pattern that is obstructing your ability to step completely into your exuberance, because the new pattern, the new cycle of energy that is coming up as we're progressing through the next few weeks is all about revitalization, renewal, new cycle of experience, stepping into our exuberance in ways that are actually tangibly like in the realm of feeling like we're manifesting our deepest goals and dreams once and for all. That's the energy. So this week is sort of preparing for that. Now, we did have 2 4s that came up as well, the 4 of Swords and the 4 of Wands. 4s are about the physical world. And so to me, when I'm looking at this, these messages around internally, metaphorically, clearing away any thoughts, beliefs, ideas that are and energies that are hindering our exuberance is really paving the way for rebirth, renewal in our lives. This month, I think, is going to prove to be very empowering in the way that the quality of life we experience in the world of form over the next few months is extremely connected to our inner state of being. So, of course, life is always about that. But the difference is we're becoming more conscious now that we have a choice. We have a choice. We can choose whatever energies we choose to embody and allow to affect, influence, and inspire us. So it's about consciously choosing and being aware of what energies you're embodying and how you're allowing that to influence you. So you're either going to clear a bunch of stuff that's in the way of your exuberance, which is paving the way for actual physical material manifestations that support your exuberance, And for those of us who don't say yes to this opportunity, we may very well be up for what might feel like more setbacks and more delays. But the important thing to realize is we have the ability to choose the energies that we choose to embody and bring into the world. Remember, this is all about a renewal of our personal dreams and the dream of the planet right now, collectively. So the energies this week are about clearing the way. Do that for yourself. Let me know in the comments how your experience with it is going. I'm really excited to see how things are shaping up for us in this next week. If you haven't seen it yet, take a look at the video that I uploaded that is sharing channeled insights for the entire month of September, and use these weekly Tarot for the Soul readings for the collective to help inform your journey throughout the month. Okay guys, much love to you all, and I'll see you in the next video.